Hey, what's going on, guys? Billy Riley here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use PCem. And I might have done this video about a year ago with Windows 95, but there are better settings that you could use now in the latest versions of PCem, so that's why I really wanted to update this video. First, I'm just going to explain why you might want to use PCem. If you don't want to hear the explanation, you can go ahead, you can skip ahead. I have timelines or timestamps in the beginning of the video and on the timeline of the YouTube video. So why you might want to use PCem is because if you use a virtual machine, you might notice that programs and OSs, specifically older OSs, may not run as well, and that's due to the fact that the way how virtual machines work is that they use your host's hardware. So it'll be using your Core i7 to run Windows 98, which Windows 98 wasn't designed to run on such newer programs and such newer hardware, I should say. And that might cause issues with your programs and OSs from working. What PCem does is that it emulates an older hardware, so it can emulate a Pentium MMX, which will actually run much better than it would on a virtual machine, because Pentium MMXs were around during the time of when the OSs were made and the programs were made, and so that's the good part about PCem. But however, there is a downside that it runs slower. It runs at roughly about the same speed of what the actual hardware would be if you had an actual old PC run right in view with the same specs. So that's a downside. That's probably also the upside to virtual machines, that they run a lot faster, but of course they're not as compatible. So first off, I'm going to show you what you have to download from. So first, we're going to have to go ahead and download the latest version of PCem for Windows. As of the recording of the video, it's version 17. They update PCem quite frequently. Just download whatever the current version is. And then next, you're going to download these ROMs for PCem. It's version 11. I recommend that you copy that. It's in the folder first, the ROMs folder first. And then next is the 86 box ROMs. Those were designed for 86 box, which is very similar to PCem. But some of these are not exactly compatible with PCem as of yet. So I can't guarantee that all these ROMs are going to work, but some that do work are not even included in this. So what you're going to do is extract these all this over here. Actually, don't worry about this 86 box manager. That's not something you're supposed to download. That's for something else. So we got to extract all these folders first. Alright, now that you got all these extracted, so you can see that this is the latest version of PCem. You got the application right here, which will open up. Actually, I don't really want to open this up because I already have PCem installed. I don't know if that'll conflict with it or anything like that. But so you got the ROMs folder here. It's pretty much things already here already. Well, actually, there's a text file here saying it's install ROMs. I don't know if there's ROMs. I don't think there's ROMs there already. I don't know. You just go to the older version here. Just go ahead and copy all of that. Press Control A, copy it. Oops. And you go ahead and paste it all right in here. And just replace whatever's in there. And then we have the ROMs here. So you just do machines first. Might as well open that in another window. You want to do the video next. Just go ahead and copy all that into the ROMs folder. So you got a lot of files in there already. Yeah, okay, I think that's got to be it. Let's go. So I'm gonna go my desktop because that's where my actual PCem is already. I can find it. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what you want to do now is you'll see this computer right here with the plus sign right there. Just click on that, click new, name whatever you want. I'll just name it 98 SE because that's what I'll be using. So, some of the recommended specifications I recommend is go ahead and do a socket 7. The socket 8 is there. Yeah, you could probably use that. That's fine. But I recommend, so to run anything like 300 megahertz doesn't sound like a lot. Your computer's like could be around 2 gigahertz, 4 gigahertz. So you might think it might emulate just fine, but no, that's not really how it works. It requires actually a lot of power to emulate it. Just for me to record this video and have it run well, I can only do up to 200 megahertz for Pentium MMX. So if you have like a slower dual core computer, try Pentium 90. That's probably what you can run at most. I used this program on a dual core laptop before. That's all it could run. But I'm just gonna do MMX 200 because that's the highest. I can do that at the highest. Now for the graphics device, I'd say this one's pretty good, but just for the sake of showing possible issues ahead, I'm going to do a S3 Trio 64, which is also good enough too. That can do 32-bit colors at 800 by 600 resolution. But the ATI Graphics Pro Turbo, that can do 32-bit colors at much higher resolutions. But I'm going to do this just for now, and I recommend Fast VLB PCI. The best option here would be for sound card would be SoundBlaster PCI128. That's what I'd recommend, but if you're having issues, let's say if you're running like a beta program, or a beta OS I should say, it might not run as well with a PCI128 because you need drivers to do that. With SoundBlaster 16, Windows will just work with SoundBlaster 16 without drivers needed. But SoundBlaster PCI128 needs drivers. So I'm just going to do that. I have the drivers for it. I'm going to have the drivers for it linked in the description for other OSs as well. These settings should generally work for up to Windows 2000. Windows 2000 requires a bit higher specifications. Probably I'd say 200 megahertz maybe. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but you might not be able to run Windows 2000 if you have a slower PC. So we're going to go ahead and create the hard drive. Just going to put it wherever you want it to be. I'm just going to put right here, 98 SE. Let's say, for me, I'm going to do just maybe 1.5 gigabyte. You can do much higher than that, but it takes time to create that, and it takes up your space immediately. So don't be doing like, you probably don't want to be doing like 32 gigabytes because that's going to take up the space in your hard drive immediately. Alright, so just click OK on that. So you got the hard drive right here. So now you want to do the CD-ROM drive right here. Just go ahead and go there. The floppy drives are already set up. This you don't really need to. These you don't really need to mess with. This network card, you can do that. I don't really do that because there's not a lot you can do with the internet with 98 SE or second edition. So right here, I'm just gonna resize the window so it can be seen much better. Come on, there we go. Alright, so when you're using PCem, if you want to release your mouse out of the window, you press the center mouse button, which is the scroll button, or you press Control End, I think it is. Yep, Control End. And to press Control Alt Delete, there's no shortcut for it, or even hard reset, shut down. You have to go all the way up here. Generally, BIOS settings, just press delete, but we don't really need to mess with that. First, we're going to enter in the CD-ROM image. Okay, so yeah, you'll probably, for all OSs, I think you need to pretty much have a boot disk. In VMware, this usually works fine without a boot disk, but for some reason this requires a boot disk in PCem, pretty much always. Alright, so first off, we're going to go ahead and switch to the whatever drive the C drive is. Do setup. Okay, so looks like that wouldn't work that way. So you want to do fdisk. So what this does is just sets up a partition. I just thought Windows 98 setup would do it already for me, but I guess it doesn't. Okay, now we're going to format the C drive that we just created. Alright, so we're done with that. Also, I want to mention that this is not actually how fast PCem is. I'm actually speeding this video up heavily, so it's actually much slower than what it looks like on video. Alright, so now we're going to switch back to the D drive, do setup. Alright, so you just want to click next right here, unless you want to switch where the Windows folder is. So right here, you can do any of these options you want, but usually what I'd like to do is just do custom and just basically install everything. That doesn't always install everything, but alright, now click next, name it whatever you want, and give it a, just whatever description you want. And click next if this all of this applies to you. So rip disk, I'm just going to remove the floppy drive there, floppy image there, because I don't want it to create a startup disk. But you can do it if you want it if your installation goes corrupt, but well, you already have the Windows 98 boot disk, so you don't need to. Alright, I'm just going to let this install, and this will be sped up. Alright, just go ahead and start. Alright, so now we're on the screen. So go ahead and type my name in. Accept to the agreement. Just go ahead and put your product key in. Alright, now after you put product key in, just go ahead and click finish. And then we got another part, the setup. Alright, just gonna start. And then we have another portion of setup. I'm just gonna go ahead and set the time zone. Not really necessary, but whatever. I'll do it. This part is what takes up a lot of time. Just be patient with it if it takes very long. Typically, every time I'm on the screen, I do lots of Windows builds. I notice that this takes a crazy amount of time, so just be patient and wait for it. As I said before, the PCem uses actual old hardware, so basically that's what makes it take so long. Alright, let's go ahead and restart. That actually wasn't too long. That was about maybe 5 minutes, but I often test Windows builds and they can take up to, I think maybe I've seen it go up to 20, so. Alright, I'm just going to create a password. I'm just going to go ahead and create a super secure password that no one can possibly guess. Alright, so now we're on our desktop. Got this welcome to Windows 98 thing right here. So go ahead and check that. So what you want to do first is go ahead and change the resolution. I'm using the S3 Trio 64 and go up to you can do 32-bit colors up to 800 by 600, but as you go up, it can't do it as high. So then click apply and then let it restart. Here we go. Now you can see that we got the higher resolution working with the 32-bit colors. So now we're going to do the sound drivers. So just going to eject this from the Windows Explorer right here, so that way it actually ejects properly. Insert the image for it. So I'm using, I think this is the same version I have in the link below in the description. This is not updating yet. It still thinks I have the Windows 98 CD in. There we go. I just clicked eject earlier. I hope that it didn't actually eject. I don't know what happened. It seems to be doing just fine, so I don't know if I actually ejected. Oh, something's frozen. Oh, never mind. That was just a small study right there. So there. So it should now should have picked up the drivers. Now it's asking for the Windows 98 CD. So you can go ahead and eject that. Try it. I usually click empty there before inserting the image because maybe it might help refresh it. So there you go. Got refreshed easy this time. Go ahead and click OK. It's still, installation's still going to go on, although you have the the program, the installer's CD ejected. It'll still work just fine. Okay, so go ahead and restart. Alright, so we got the audio working. Usually it won't stutter like that, but because I have OBS running, it's taking up more of my CPU's resources. So that's why you're stuttering. So you can go ahead and hear the system sounds. You can see that works. Usually I like to have the log off sound on because I like system sounds. Now as for the issues, I don't see, if you're doing exactly what I'm doing, I don't see a lot going wrong. But if you decide that you want to change your video driver, which I'll show in a moment, you might run into issues with Windows recognizing it. So I'm going to go ahead and change the video driver. This 3DFX Voodoo Banshee, I think I tried it out. I don't think it worked. So I know this one right here works. So we'll go ahead and change that. So go ahead and let this boot. And see what Windows does with it and if it causes any issues. Alright, so looks like something's different has happened with the video driver. Oh wait, it's actually picking it up. Restart. Alright, looks like it picked it up just fine because the resolution was set back to what it's supposed to be before. But some video devices, it might not work immediately. If you have an issue, like sometimes if you use a different video device and you go to settings, it'll just get stuck to 16 colors or, well, 256 colors at lowest resolution. Sometimes that might happen. To fix that, you just go to right click on computer, or what was it? My computer properties. You go to device manager. You go to sound, video, and game controllers. You'll find the old video driver somewhere around here. Does it show up here? No, it doesn't appear that it shows up here. But what you do if you see the old video driver or video device still in here is that you'd right click on it, and then I think it'll usually, I thought it says it uninstall, but you can just go ahead and click remove. And then restart, and that will fix it, and you should be able to set your resolution back to what it was before. There's not other issues that I can think of that would prevent you from using PCem correctly, but if you have any other issues, let me know. If there's any drivers or actually links that are bad, I mean, in the description I gave, just go ahead and let me know, and I'll update them. Other than that, nothing else I can really think of that would be that would cause issues. Well, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.